Hello everybody, welcome to the course of Customer Relationship Management. This is Dr. Shagata Chatterjee from IIT Kharagpur, Vinod Gupta School of Management, who is taking this course for you. Today's discussion's topic is a particular case on customer relationship management. The case's name is Angels and Devils, Best Buy's new customer approach. So, in this particular case, I told you in the introduction video of this particular course that this course will be filled up with lots of examples which has been applied in the real life situation, and how those examples can also be applied in future, or what kind of learning can be generated from those kind of real life situations is something that is a crux of this particular course. So, one such case that we are going to discuss today is something called Best Buy's new customer approach, Angels and Devils. So, what is Best Buy? So, Best Buy is a leading provider of technology products. So, mainly they sell technology products, services and solutions to the various companies. And the company offers expert services at an unbeatable price. So, one of the major aspect of Best Buy is their price. So, that is where they play. They want to give you certain products which are technology heavy products, and they are majorly they do lots of cost cutting, and that is why they play on the price. Now, who buys technology products? What do you think? Is it in the people who are in the lower income strata, or middle income strata, or upper income strata? Who are the major customers of a company who will be selling technology products? What is your thought? So, why don't you pause this particular video for 1 second and just think that who will be my customers. So, my customers, if you have thought a little bit, that it will be the middle income group and the upper income group. Now, when I am playing in the low, I am offering unbeatable price and where I am giving expert service at unbeatable price, I am actually targeting those kind of people who are middle income group, probably lower middle or upper middle income group, but I will try to give them services or experiences which generally the upper income group wants. So, that kind of a positioning they have, that I will give you something which is affordable, but you will get the quality will not be compromised. So, in the US there were more than 70% of the population lives within the 15 minutes of Best Buy store. So, one of the very major thing that they had is their locations. So, I do not know whether you have seen companies like, let us say, Decathlon. Have you seen Decathlon stores? So, Decathlon stores, if in India, if you see, that they are not generally located within the city. They are located a little bit, let us say 10-15 kilometers outside the city, and that is a location that they choose. People, that is a destination, that becomes a destination. People actually come to Decathlon and then spend the whole day in Decathlon and try to buy something. So, that is something which is Decathlon's I would say offerings. Similarly, Best Buy's offerings were location. So, they were located at very good places. They also had warehouse kind of stores, but they are located at very good places such that 70% of US population will be within 15 minutes drive. So, not exactly in the city center, but probably in the probably a little bit away from the city center, but they have multiple locations and made sure that most of the people can access it very easily. At that time, when this particular case happened, when the incident happened which we are discussing today, at that time they had operations only in USA and Canada and Mexico along with USA. So, these are the three countries that they have their operations. Their CEO was Brad Anderson, and they had 1.5 million customers, daily customers. So, this is a brick and mortar store. So, daily customers in their store, there was 1.5 million. The yearly sales was 24.5 billion rupees, net income was 705 million and 16.33% year to year growth. So, 16.33% year to year growth is a pretty good growth, and also they were pretty much growing, and 1.5 million customers were coming every day. So, these are some of the basic details what they had. So, they were in a good stage. But where the problem came was there were angels and demons in their customers. So, what are the angels? Let us discuss about what are the demons first. So, out of that 1.5 billion customers that we just told, 20% of the customer visits are undesirable. So, if I am saying that 100 million out of 500 million customers were undesirable customers. So, undesirable customers means they will come to your store, they will take lots of, so let's, I am talking about Decathlon kind of store, if I have gone that kind of a store, it is a huge store, there are lots of products there, and somebody coming in that particular store will do 2-3 things. One is, if there are lots of customers comes and do not buy anything, there will be crowding. The more crowding happens, the less is the experiential value for the people who are actually buying the products. They will feel congested, they will feel okay, the lots of people is there, they cannot move around as per their wish. So, first of all, that is a major problem. Second is that these kind of customers used to come and buy a small stuff. Let us say I will buy something of $5 or $10, but will take lots of services, will see this, see that, will change the order of the products, will try this product, try out that product, probably this is a electronic products, so technology products. So, they will probably try out an Apple mobile phone or probably play some games which are there, but then ultimately buy a small thing. So, these kind of customers were found out to be undesirable customers. Now, undesirable customers is a big challenge for many companies. In the other day I was telling that there, for Airtel actually increased the minimum recharge that you do per month to from 0 rupees. Initially it was 0 rupees at some point of time. They increased it to 29 rupees and then 48 rupees or something like that. The denominations might be a little bit wrong, but something like that. What they wanted to do is that there were lots of migrant laborers. You know that there are lots of migrant laborers in this particular country. So, oftentimes when people go to another city for their job, they have 2 mobile phones, one in home, one in office, one in their job place and one is at home, and any one of these mobile phones will have full-fledged recharge. The other one the only job of the other one was to keep alive, so that I can give a missed call to that other number, and the number whoever has the recharge will actually call back. So, that kind of a facility. Now, when you will give unlimited I would say validity, no validity issues. So, if you have unlimited validity of a particular talk time and your SIM also is valid for unlimited period of time, then if you recharge 10 rupees and then do not recharge ever, you can give missed calls, because that 10 rupees will remain alive, and if you can give missed calls, you can probably connect, because the other person will call you back. But you have to understand that Airtel has to keep his services alive, his towers alive, his he has to deploy certain resources in those kind of places also where revenue is not generating. So, let us say from city X to village Y is where the people is giving missed call to a person in city X. Airtel has to have his facilities both at city X and village Y. Then only this connectivity will happen. So, everybody in that village Y who used to give missed calls were undesirable customers. This is a bad example that I am going to say, but this kind of problem IKEA faced in USA, that IKEA at one point of time gave this kind of a offer that I will give you this particular. IKEA is a furniture business. You know IKEA, we have in Hyderabad a new IKEA store. So, this is a furniture business, and IKEA told that okay, in our store you can pick up anything, and then you have to obviously pay for it, but you can return it after 1 month, and if you do not like it, return it after 1 month, as long as no damage has happened and everything is okay, full amount will be returned. Now, this happened in USA, and USA has lots of migrants, workers, students who come from outside, and they settle at a home, and they do not buy lots of furniture, because they are coming for 2 years, 3 years, and then they will go away. So, they do not buy lots of furniture. But within that 2 years, 3 years, sometimes their parents, relatives, friends come to their home. Now, when these friends, relatives, parents are coming to their home, what these guys used to do is go to IKEA store, buy a new bed, let's say, then the parents or relatives or friends stay on that particular bed and etc. use that bed for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever duration they stay. If it is within 1 month duration, within 1 month if they return back, then these guys also will go back and return all the items to the IKEA store. And when that happens, IKEA found out that there was lots of losses that they are incurring, because people are actually buying it, but not using it. Within 1 month they are returning it. So, there are different types of undesirable customers. In a Uber kind of a platform, let us say, you will see that people at one point of time Uber had that offer that okay, you can complain about the route choice of that particular driver. If the route choice is higher, longer, then that money will be returned. Or if you just write that okay, my driver has charged me 10 rupees extra, 15 rupees extra, no questions asked, Uber used to give that back. Now, this is something that not many people knew that this is happening, but some people knew, and they started doing this thing, that they were every time they were in a the ride, they used to complain that the driver has charged 10 rupees or 15 rupees or extra toll has been charged to me by cash and this and that. And Uber understood that this is actually a fallacy that is going to happening, and they actually stopped that. So, these are all undesirable customers. So, every store will have certain kind of undesirable customers. Another thing that was, so 20% undesirable customer is a big number, and you have to tackle them in some way or other. What are the other problems that they were facing? So, Walmart and Dell are changing from mass market focus to high definition products in electronics. So, this is something that was also happening. So, Walmart, if you remember, what I told here is this Best Buy. So, if this was the structure, just let me open the market structure. So, this was the structure. So, a market generally looks like, so this is your mass, this is your probably upper class, and this is your middle class market. But oftentimes in USA kind of setup, it looks like this. The middle part is fat. So, this is middle class, this is mass, and this is upper class. Now, Walmart was here and probably Dell was here. So, so Dell also had their own stores, and Walmart is a big retail company for various kinds of products. So, Walmart gives you products at a lesser price, Dell gives you products at a higher price. In between that, probably this Best Buy used to stay. So, what happened is Walmart also changed their focus from mass market to middle class, and Dell also changed their focus from upper class to middle class. So, when more companies are pushing towards the middle class, these things get shrinked. The whatever was here will now come up to be here, and whatever was here will now come up to be here. So, the market will become shrinked. So, this becomes middle class now, where Best Buy lies, and this is where Walmart comes up, and this is where Dell comes up. So, there was a shrinking activity that was going on because people are pushing themselves towards this middle class. So, when that is happening, that is a competition, increase of competition that happens, which were happening in case of Best Buy also. And they did not want it to be the unprofitable middle class. So, keeping this in mind, they wanted to find out that what can I do as a marketing strategy, so that these movements of price and positioning of my competitors and there is a huge amount of undesirable customers in my customer base, this will not affect me. What can I do to that? So, that is where this angels versus demons, this practice came in. So, they wanted to do something such that the angels of my company will not move out to let us say Dell or Walmart, At the same time, the devils of my company, that means the customer base, the devils of the customer base will move out from the customer base. They will be discouraged to come to the store and make the store, I would say, crowded or doing something else. So, how they can be discouraged to come to the store? So, that was the major consumer problem. So, to answer this, they approached a very classic way, which is called customer centricity. Now, customer centricity is a philosophy where we are saying that being customer centric means looking at an enterprise from the outside in rather than inside out. So, you have to wear the spectacles of a customer and look at the customer, look at the company, and you cannot wear the spectacle of an employee and look at the company. So, from the outside in to inside out approach has to be taken, that is through the lens of the customer rather than the producer. So, you have to look at the lens of the customer, you have to wear the spectacles of the customer. So, to wear the spectacle of the customer, you have to find out what the customer wants to see. So, Best Buy took the time to understand who its customers are, how I can define my customers and what they need, and then started selling solutions instead of products. So, mostly common sense solutions were majorly focused on. So, this is something that I tell to my marketing students every time I start a class, that any marketing strategy will first start from like, okay, it's a mission and vision of the strategy, probably what you want to do, and then the environmental analysis. So, environmental analysis, like there can be macro environmental analysis, there can be micro environmental analysis. In the macro, we do pest lay, and we also do probably in pest lay, and the micro we do Potter's 5 force model, and then one part is basically the customer, the exact. We also do SWOT here, and the customer, who is my customer, and while defining this customer, who is this customer. So, this is step 1, this is step 2. While defining this customer, we define a customer based on 4 C. What are the 4 C? The 4 C is my customer, the cost, the convenience and the communication. So, these are the 4 C's, marketing 101, that is how we define the customer. Now, oftentimes this can be broken into 4C1, 4C2, 4C3, so which is basically the segments. So, this breaking these 4C into 4C1, 4C2, 4C3, this is not combination. 4C1 is not 4 combination 1 or 4 combination 2, I am not saying that. 4C1 means the first type of 4C, the second type of 4C and the third type of 4C, basically segmentation. We do segmentation. So, while defining the customers, I have to find out what are the customer segments, and each segment I will define them using this 4C, each segment separately. Then I have to target any one of the segment. I cannot target multiple segments. In some situations we target multiple segments, like in retail or in telecom we can target more than one segments, but you have to create solutions for each of the segments separately. That means for each set of 4C you have to create one set of 4P. And what are those 4Ps? The 4Ps are product, or in this case service also, price, place and promotion. So, for each of these guys you can create 4P1, 4P2, 4P3 and then you can choose that which one I will go for. So, that is something that they also did. So, they are here we only focused on the customer segmentation part. So, I told that Best Buy took the time to understand its customer, like I just told, and then they created solutions rather than products. They did not try to sell anything, they tried to solve the problems of the customers using certain kind of solutions. So, what they did is there are 5 different kinds of segments that got created. So, there is a Zeal, there is a Buzz, there is a Ray, there is BB4B and there is Barry. And let me give the meaning of what these things are. So, Jill is probably a mother who is probably a working mother, or middle class mother, he has lots of probably one or two kids, and he is also working, that means he is busy at the same time. So, he manages the she manages the her office and her home both, and the kids are dependent on her because the kids are still small at this moment, but still she engages in, so she wants to buy those kind of, so she wants to have those kind of products and services which will be helpful for her job to make the job more productive, at the same time will be liked by the probably the home people, by her husband or her kids, which can help her in reducing the time that is spent on food making or cleaning or washing and this kind of stuff. So, this is Jill. If I can, so whenever we talk about a segment, I told that what are the customers, what are the cost, what are the, these are the 4 things that we will discuss on, right. So, who is Jill? If I just try to discuss that. So, Jill in terms of the 4C. So, who is Jill? So, Jill is a working mother. What will be the age of a working mother? Let us say around 30 to 45 years, something like that, in this range, and he might have 1 to 2 kids, and husband might also be working. And understand that it is USA, so they are staying separately, they are not staying there with the parents or something. So, no support at home probably, or probably partial support, not always there is a support system available at home. And yeah, so what he wants, what this customer is looking for, he is looking for products which will help in productivity. Productivity means, oftentimes it has been seen that these moms are very they find it very difficult to manage the house and the office. So, they have to get something which will be majorly focusing on their productivity, because they want to do things faster, that is number 1. Number 2 is, so that can be both in the office and in the home. So, in the home probably a mixer grinder or a vacuum cleaner can be something which will be more productive, or in the office probably let us say some kind of electronic product can be more productive than whatever he is using right now. And another important thing that she wants is something which is liked by family. So, products which are liked by family, it can be movies, it can be games, because he has some kids, she has some kids who likes to play, who like to play games. So, games or movies, family movies or children movies. So, those kind of things comes into the picture. This is customer. And what is his cost? So, Jill is a middle class. So, affordable price is something, affordability is something that is important for him. Just check the and what is his convenience? She does not want to travel much, and also she wants something which is in the office, within his home to office, that particular destinations will fall. So, she buys from places which is in between home and office. So, such kind of things are there. So, she buys those kind of products which is in between home and office. So, that is one thing. And what about communication, what he wants to hear? So, now this is a lady who strives for, let us say, she wants appreciation from home. So, she wants that. So, people will appreciate whatever she is doing, this particular thing that she is doing for her family, and also at the same time managing the job. This should, she sometimes is very struggling with this, and she wants appreciation for whatever she is doing. So, that is number thing. Second thing is probably she is probably emotional, because she has kids. So things which are related to kids or family or that kind of emotions, when or togetherness, when those kind of emotions are communicated in any kind of ad or any kind of product, those things is something which is of high value to her. So, that is Jill. So, this is how, if I can define Jill, this is the person called Jill. This is one particular segment. And I would ask you, this is a homework, small homework that you can do, that why don't you try to define like this the whole other things are. I will give you the definition of other things. Buzz is a young person, let us say a college goer, let us say one BTech student of our institute, who is coming from a well-to-do family, not very humble background, from a well-to-do family, and he is very much probably well known, well accustomed with the latest technology. He watches the latest movies or probably latest songs that are coming up or latest series that are coming up. Tech savvy young person, young college going student or college going kid, a male in this case, is Buzz. On the other hand, Ray is a person who is absolutely probably a gender male version of Jill, but he is also a father of 2 kids and a middle class family member. He is a family person, practical buyer, while Jill sometimes probably might buy something based on her emotions and etc. Ray generally does not do impulse buying. He is very practical in terms of his buying, but which becomes sometimes a difficult thing, because the kids or the family members sometimes wants to enjoy, which where there is a problem with some kind of problem happens with Ray, because Ray sometimes does not become able to understand that sometimes he buys certain stuff or does not buy certain stuff, which probably will be appreciated by the family members. So, that kind of a mismatch sometimes happens because he is a practical buyer, middle class person. So, at the end of the month he has to take very calculated decisions and so on. Now, BB4B is a person which is based by for business actually. So, based by for business is basically one group of customer which is small SME customers. They buy, let us say, cartridges, or they buy certain kinds of lots of 10, 15 I would say monitors or computers. Sometimes they hire computers from Best Buy, or certain other kind of let us say storing devices like pen drives and etc. in a bulk. So, all of this kind of thing which is office stationaries or office accessories, these are the things which they buy in bulk, again very practical, very production oriented, but these are majorly SMEs. So, they have to take calculated decisions, more calculated decisions than Ray, but they will buy in bulk. So, that is another customer base. And the fifth customer segment is Barry. Now, Barry is a very well-to-do person. He is a professional, he is probably a manager or a lawyer or a doctor who wants pretty good, probably top 5% of the society, and he has very good taste for technology products, and he actually express himself, his luxurious feeling, his feelings and his luxury, his identity through buying these kind of products. So, that is Barry. Now, if these are the 5 customers, I would first suggest, it is a small homework, that why don't you go back and write down what are these 4 C's for each of this customer base. I have wrote for Jill, you should be able to write it for Buzz or Ray or B4B or Barry. So, that is how the first objective gets fulfilled, that you understand what your customer base are, customer segments are. Now, what next? So, what they did next is they actually targeted so they found out that in a particular store which of these 5 segments are coming more, and whoever is coming more, whoever is coming significantly more, not only more, significantly more than the other groups, only they have chosen those stores initially, and they turned the whole store altogether to target that particular customer. For example, they made a Jill store. So, Jill store is a store which is close by to the home, which is situated in a locality which is residential locality, not a commercial locality, and you know that their family members stay there. So, that kind of a particular place has been turned to a jail store. Now, I have given the description of jail. Now, what will be a jail store look like? He will come with kids, so there will be very colorful store it will be. So, pink and red and white balloons, festoons at the entrance of the store, because that's something that attracts the kids, sometimes their moms also. So, that is something that were there. There were TV that is playing The Incredibles, which is a show which goes on, which a kids show, so the kids will enjoy. It's a family show as well, so the kids and family will both enjoy. So, that kind of TVs were playing those kind of shows, and there is an expanded selection of home appliances. As I told that JIL focuses on productivity. So, expanded selection of home appliances, as well as display stock Hello Kitty, Barbie, SpongeBob SquarePants, that kind of electronic equipment. So, all these equipments were more targeted probably towards the productivity of the mother. And nooks are set up. Nooks means small corners which looks like a certain thing that you want to make. So, nooks are set up to look like dorms or recreation rooms. So, for kids there will be dorms, right. So, let us say if you have 2-3 kids, sometimes for space crunch you create probably 2-3 stories of beds, or probably a dorm room where many your kids stay and then play and do whatever at that particular room. And there is a recreation room also probably. So, where the mom and children can play. So, that kind of rooms, the setup of rooms, dummy rooms, which we are calling here as nooks, that were set up, where actually when the moms and the kids are visiting this particular place, they can sit and play and enjoy and can think that what would have happened if the same setup were made at my home. So, that was created, and with high-tech gadgets. So, along with these nooks which looks like homely, which gives you a homely feeling, they also have given this high-tech gadgets. So, this particular line, remember, this particular thing I will come back later. So, it is these nooks were created to give you a homely feeling, but at the same time you have been given high-tech gadgets, because then you will not be scared with these high-tech gadgets. You will think that these high-tech gadgets are also very homely in nature, probably affordable, probably practical to buy. So, that kind of feeling they were trying to give in their mind, and this is something that many other companies did later. When I come back to the next videos, I will discuss about this thing again. Just keep this in your mind. So, that is a JIL store. So, that does not mean that Barry's and BB4B's and other guys, Ray's will not come into the store. So, they have done it in a very not very much visible manner, something which will play with your psychology, but will not distract the other guys. So, it will attract JIL, but it will not say that okay, Ray don't come here or Barry don't come here. So, that kind of feeling was not there. So, again if you can, so if you go to this particular link, you will get the description of other stores as well, but I would ask you don't go to this particular link. Why don't you try to write down how a Barry and Buzz store will look like on your own. So, a store which is trying to focus on Barry, a store which is trying to focus on Buzz, how will it look like? Why don't you stop this particular video here and try to I will not stop, I will go on for another few minutes, but I am asking you to stop this video here, write it down, check with this particular link, that whatever you think that how the Barry store will look like, or whatever you think whatever the Buzz store should look like, whether that matches or not, because that's not how you can gauge that whether you are thinking like a marketer or not. I am not saying that whatever you are writing will be wrong, that can be discussed in a discussion forum. And why don't you do one thing? Why don't you put this in the discussion forum? And I am suggesting every other viewers is to come to this discussion forum and probably try to give a feedback on whatever other people are saying. whatever you are saying, other people will give peer review, and you also give peer review to whatever other guys have given a plan. And until and unless you post something, you don't see the discussion forum. So that is very important, because otherwise you will see what other people have written, you will see whatever this guy had written, and based on that. So see, this is a learning environment that we are trying to create. There is this particular exercise will give you no points extra, no brownie points, but you will probably learn how to think like a marketer. So please think like a marketer, post it, and then why don't you review what other people are saying and see that whether that makes sense. And I will also ask my TAs and probably me also to give comments on the descriptions that were given. So that is how they were targeting the angels. Now how to target the devils, how to handle the devils? So to handle the devils, that means the unprofitable customers, what they did is they cut down the sales and promotions approach. So all the sales, all the discounts and etc. were reduced. So that is a very major thing. So when you reduce that, as I was telling for Airtel, that they increase the no unlimited validity thing to at least 29 rupees per month kind of a approach. So similar approach these guys have taken. Identifying the less than desirable shoppers and remove them from the mailing list. So that was another job. So they used AI based techniques, and I will in a different class, really, if you take my marketing analytics course, which has been given in the last semester, you will know that how to find out the unprofitable customers who have low customer lifetime value. So we have taught there how to calculate customer lifetime value. Here also in this course also we will discuss about that a little bit. So based on that, you can find out that who are the unprofitable customers and then remove them from the mailing list, so that these customers are not attracted towards your store. And put a more rigid policy in place to deal with repeat returners. So as I was telling, for IKEA, what they did is they created a restocking price. So here also they created a restocking price. So if you have bought it and you want to return it, 15% will be charged. So I will give you an example, a classic example. It was a government hospital in a particular organization. Certain organizations run hospitals for their employees, and in those kind of hospitals, medicine is free. So what happens is, for many organizations, these patients go to that, actually they are not patients always, they go to this store, to the hospital, and they go to the doctor and write down lots of medicines. Many of the medicines probably they don't even need, or they have not checked with the doctors that whether I will need it. Sometimes it is routine, some of the medicines are routine, but some of the medicines are, whether they are routine or not, they have to be taken or not, they don't even check. They create a major list of these medicines and go to, and I know there are certain people who even buy those medicines and probably sell in some other stores. So what they do is they go to the doctor, create a huge list, and then go to the dispensary, get those medicines and go away. So these are the customers which are also undesirable customers, in this case undesirable patients. So what happens is, how to deal with it, what this kind of, some of the examples that I will give, what they did is that we will not charge anything from you in terms of the monthly deduction that happens in terms of the medical thing. That deduction will be reduced, but whatever price, whatever is the price of that particular medicine, you have to pay 10% or 5%, and I will pay 95%. So the moment you give that kind of a thing, that the employer will pay 95% and you have to pay 5%, but not free. It cannot be free. It can be as low as 5%, but cannot be free. The moment you give that kind of thing, a huge amount of people will not come. This is this psychology. So because we give huge value to something which is free. Similar things applied here, that even if this 15% restocking fee was 5% restocking fee, there were quite a few people who would have not bought, because you understand 5% of a 1 lakh rupees TV is 5,000 rupees. Question is, will you buy a TV and then use it for 1 month and return it back and pay 5,000 rupees for that usage? Many customers will not do that. And which type of customers will not do that? those kind of customers who are undesirable, who wants to buy the TV will actually buy the TV by 1 lakh rupees and keep it in most of the cases. But the guy who had returners are generally price sensitive as well. So, even if that cost is 5,000 rupees or in this case 15,000 rupees, they will not do that. So, that is how you are dealing with the devils in the customer base. Now, what happens is, this is also a classic question, I am opening it to the to my students, that okay, I can use my techniques and etc. to find out who are my undesirable customers and remove them from the mailing list. But how will I know when a new walk-in happen? How will I know when a customer comes in for the first time that whether he is a devil or he is an angel, he is a desirable customer. So, I can categorize customers based on the past data, but when a new customer comes in, what is the way to understand that whether this guy will be an angel or a devil? Because if he is an angel, I will deal with him differently, if he is a devil, I will deal with it differently. So, this is a very crucial question, I am probably keeping it open for you, I will not answer it today. You probably want to put it in the discussion board and I will answer, or I will discuss it in the discussion board of this particular course, that what are the possible ways to find out that from a walk-in whether a customer is good or bad. So, that is why when they did it, the results were like this, that initially they did it for 32 stores in Chicago, LA and WDC. The sales growth happened in general in the other stores 10%, but in these test stores it was 17%. The gross margin was 0.5% higher than the average stores. So, even not only the sales improved, the profitability improved, but the profitability improved very less, 0.5%. That is because the cost were 2.4% higher. So, the cost went up, because when you try to do all this stuff which is very targeted, your marketing cost goes up. So, the marketing cost went up. But they also analyzed that this cost difference will fall to 0.5% rather than 2.4%. if 110 stores are added. So, currently there are 32 stores, if another 110 stores were added. So, if you try to do the same thing in 142 stores, the cost difference of this 142 stores and the other stores will be 0.5%, as low as, so practically no cost difference at all. So, but the sales will go up by 17% instead of 10%. So, the growth will be much higher. So, what Best Buy planned is to do spend around how much? This is $0.45 million per store in labor training and costs, and in the long run they actually did it for 600 stores out of their 750 stores. So, they actually applied this technique to majority of their stores. So, that is something that they did and they succeeded, and that is why it has become a case. So, the question is that how to tackle this and how to make it in a bigger scale. It is easy to do it for 32 stores. How to do it for 600 stores is a very major, I would say, AI question. So, basically I am giving you 3 questions, 3 small jobs to do in your to put in the discussion board, whoever is interested to take this course seriously. One is to answer this, how the Buzz and Barry store will look like. I will create a thread for this. Second one is how to categorize new walk-ins, and third one is if you want to replicate the same operation, same modification of the stores from 32 stores to 600 stores, what will be your steps, what kind of challenges will you face and how to tackle those challenges. So, these are some of the questions that I am keeping it open for you. I will not answer that. Let us come to the discussion board to discuss about these things. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.